Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Today, a review of the Formex Essence ThirtyNine. This is the new watch from Formex, available for pre-order now. It is the 39mm version of their Formex Essence, which is typically 43mm. We'll be doing a review of this watch itself, as well as a direct comparison to the 43mm version. So stick around for that. Let's get right into it. Before we get started, I just want to mention that Formex did send me this watch to review, but I will be going back to them afterwards. So let's dive into the technical specs. At 39mm in diameter, this is a much more compact watch. It is a nice size that I think watches are starting to trend towards smaller diameter, and this is a nod in that direction. The thickness is 10mm. The lug to lug is only 45, nice and compact. The front and back crystal are sapphire with anti-reflective coating. There is BG W9 Super Lume on the hands and indices. The watch has 100 meters of water resistance and has a 38-hour power reserve. Now you'll notice this is the chronometer grade version, and what that means is it has a Sellita SW200-1, and chronometer, it means that it has been certified by Kosh to be accurate to plus or minus 5 seconds per day. Certified over 16 days, multiple positions, it essentially means this watch is highly accurate and certified by a third party. Honestly, the design of this watch is what gets me. I love how this watch is designed. So first off, this shade of green is insane. It is such a bright and vibrant color, and paired with the horizontal CNC lines, and also you can see the vertical grain there on the dial, spectacular, just perfect execution. I love it. What's awesome about Formex is everything feels purposeful. Every feature of this watch was done with a purpose, with a reason, and it really shows. The indices have a channel for the lume. The hands are an incredibly sharp design, well executed. The date window down below, perfectly proportioned and has a black background. The logo, you'll see later in the comparison, but Formex has changed it to be a little more artsy rather than their previously utilitarian logo. But moving out from the dial, you'll notice that on the top of the bezel, it's a nice brushed finish going vertical. And the nice thing about this watch is there are so many different finishes on this watch. So obviously there's the vertical brush on the dial, vertical brush on the bezel, and then you have a nice mirror polish around the outer edge, coming down to the case with a horizontal brush and down to a brushed bracelet. Surrounding the bezel are these 4 hexagonal screws which hold the suspension feature. Yes, that's right, this watch has a suspension. It's really convenient for when if it rides up on your wrist. It provides a little extra travel to make sure it's incredibly comfortable. That is something I have never seen on a watch, and it just blew me away when I first saw it. The bracelet on this watch is also superb. Really small links, so it makes it very easy to get a nice fit, and it really conforms to your wrist. It comes down to the nice, secure deployment clasp. And there is also a additional link here, which you can use to get some extra space when you need it. While I don't have the 39 version of the strap, one thing I have to mention that's carryover from my Formex Essence is the clasp for the straps is insane. It is the most comfortable clasp/strap combination I've ever had, and I cannot recommend it enough. Why it's so great is the main clasp is carbon fiber, but what they do is not only is it a deployment clasp for your leather strap, it also has this micro adjustment point here that you can press and change the fit of your leather strap on the fly with a huge amount of adjustment, so you're always going to get a real excellent fit. I cannot recommend this enough. Anyone who's buying this watch should absolutely get this clasp with their watch. One thing I love about Formex is, as I've said, they pay attention to the details. So the bracelet is a quick release, which I love, makes it very easy to change out straps. Let's zoom in on this movement. Incredible level of finishing, nice perlage on the upper side, gold colored gears, a custom rotor with the Formex logo, and blued out screws. I really love the blued out screws. I think they just make this movement look so fantastic. crisp, clean design with a sapphire back and also the interesting case shape thanks to suspension. Let's get a few shots on the wrist. Alright, so here we have the watch on my wrist. My wrist is 7¼ inches in size, and this is a really well done size. Typically I prefer 40 to 42 millimeters, but this 39 sits nice. It has really great presence with that beautiful green dial. The fit of the bracelet is just superb, and I really like this sort of sport watch look, where it's not quite formal, but it certainly has some professional flair. The color is beautiful, and I love how the light picks up, I love how the finish gets picked up by the light. That brush finish on the dial as well as the case is just so excellent. But quickly, I think we need to check what time it is. It looks like it's time to like and subscribe. If you enjoy this type of content, it really means a lot to me if you'd subscribe and hit that like button. Subscribing gets you access to my content as soon as it comes out, so please do. Alright, let's do a quick comparison of the 39 to the 43 millimeter version. So the obvious difference is the dimensions. Obviously the Formex Essence 43 is 43 millimeters in diameter, where the 39 is 39. But aside from that, it's really a bunch of design cues that are different. It has the same movement, the Sellita SW200-1, and it's the same sort of design style. You can see the brush pattern on the face there, same case finishing options, and that iconic 4 set of hex screws. The big difference, obviously, is at first the logo. So Formex Essence on my left is the one that I purchased over a year ago. I love this sort of more industrial looking logo. It reminds me of a set of calipers from Fowler, and I really like that. However, I think over the last year they've caught a lot of flack for that logo, and as a result they've changed it to this. I gotta say, it is a really attractive design, and it is applied, adds a lot of uniqueness to the dial, but that's a personal preference whether you like the more, I would say, industrial logo, or if you like the more artsy logo on the right. Next, coming down, the Formex Essence 43 has the words automatic chronometer, whereas the Formex brought Essence down and just put it above chronometer. As mentioned before, they use the same movement, so all the finishing is the same. Gorgeous on both of them. It's also worth noting the lug width of the 39 is 20 millimeters, whereas the original Essence is 22. So the straps will not be compatible between the two. But aside from that, they're functionally the same watch. It's just a size preference and also, I would say, some subtle design details. But it comes down to what size you prefer, and also a little bit of cost. So let's move to MSRP and value. So MSRP of this watch is actually higher than the Legacy 43mm version. The cost for this on a bracelet is $1,390, whereas the strap is $1,280. This is a $125 price increase over the previous version. I think this is a nod to the fact that the previous version completely sold out. These watches are incredibly popular, so I think Formex has used that to justify a slight price increase. At that price, I think the value is still there for an entry-level luxury. I think the unique design, case suspension, all the different levels of finishing on the movement as well as the watch itself, the excellent features of the bracelet, how comfortable it is, and the clasp that comes with the straps. This watch really punches above its weight class as far as price and style goes. So for me, the value is there. Obviously, I own the 43mm version, so I'm a little slanted on that. But I think if you're considering entry-level luxury, Formex should absolutely be a consideration. As far as things I would knock them for or change, honestly, I can't really think of any, aside from maybe drop the price a little bit, bring it back. I preferred the other logo to this one, but I do think this one has a lot of style. The 39mm is an excellent size, but maybe just 40 would have been a little better for me. Aside from that, I think this really is a well-executed watch, and I don't have any major complaints. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you like Formex? Do you care about their logo change? Is 39mm a good size for you? I'd love to hear down in the comments below. Let me know. So that's all I have today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.